Hello there, my name is Louis Wieland, and for the last 30 years, I have published community profiles magazines that are distributed to realtors for the benefit of their clients who are purchasing homes. The magazines are filled with information about Atlanta. We have profiled the counties and the communities, schools. We have provided a list of vendors who we have vetted, and they're also on my website, atlantacommunityprofiles.com. And I'm also a commercial realtor with Chapman Hall. If I can help with any of your real estate needs, please let me know. My email address is lou@louwheeland.com. The website address is atlantacommunityprofiles.com. And so every now and then we interview community leaders, and today we're privileged to have Jenni Bonura, B-O-N-U-R-A, Bonura. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Well done.
And I've known Jenni for a long time when she was president and CEO of Harry Norman. In fact, I think, Jenni, you were pretty much on the show right after you got that job 9 years ago. She was president and CEO of Harry Norman for 9 years. And now she's over at FMLS, and we're going to explore some of the things that she's been asked to do over at FMLS. It's pretty exciting to see. And I know Jenni is the type of person, she fills a room when she comes in. She has that aura of presence, which is pretty rare. And so anyway, great to see you again, Jenni, and thanks for coming on the show. Jenni's job is going to be, what would be the title? You have a new title, right? Is it they've redefined the role that your predecessor had, kind of expanding it, I guess, right, into more sales and marketing?
It's a Chief Growth Officer, and thank you for your kind words. I really appreciate that. It's an honor to be with you. And in the role of Chief Growth Officer, essentially, I kind of think of it as sales and marketing is my remit. So some inside sales, basically our connectivity directly with our members, and then some behind the scenes with things like marketing, et cetera. So obviously growth being in the title, that's an important factor to the role. But honestly, that sort of is not just growing additional people, it's growing the benefit for our members as we currently have them.
You sent over your bio, and I was intrigued by something you said there, and that was, throughout my career, I've been privileged to lead organizations through periods of growth, market change, and transformation by building exceptional teams, strengthening brands, fostering strategic partnership, and creating a culture of innovation and accountability. And you were kind of, because of AI, we are kind of, and other things, we're kind of at that point with FMLS because of the growth of FMLS into other markets, covering other markets, and AI, which is changing the world. And how does your background in that respect lend itself to those major changes in the world?
Oh, yeah. AI is absolutely changing the world. In fact, there's probably some, behind the scenes thing that will use this interaction, and hopefully others can benefit from it even more than just watching our interaction. I'm sure the robots behind the scenes will cultivate that. But my background, to answer your question, so I started my professional career as a software developer, changed to a program manager, and that was with Accenture. So I had a background and appreciation for technical understanding early in my career. And I'm so grateful for it because it's been a through line across industries, across various segments. And with AI, it's really cool to see how things that used to take so long and be so complex are now so much faster, and the world is truly our oyster. Some might call it scary to some degree, but I like to think of it as when it's used for good purposes, it's really incredible. And how that works within this new role and within FMLS is we use it to augment our functionality and product capabilities, right? So some of our most recent products, actually almost all of our products, have some component of AI engaged or involved or built in or burgeoning. But our most recent product, Roomvo, which was launched in June, does absolutely use AI. And the premise is it's basically a how can you help a client envision what a home would look like with certain renovations? So if people don't have that vision, but the house may have really great bones or great location or great layout, whatever the situation is, this tool uses AI to help them envision what it could be. Um, and then we've got Matrix Add Edit. The next version of that is coming out in early fall, and that absolutely incorporates AI already, and it's going to be even more robust in the next iteration of it. So it's not that our focus is solely AI because our ethos is heavily on human collaboration. But we agree that both are powerful and both are necessary. And I feel like I'm very lucky because having that technical understanding in my background and being very engaged in the relational part of real estate has allowed me to hopefully use my skills to better the company and create great service for our members.
Okay, Jenny. So year to date, the sales for detached were up 1% and prices were up 2%. The average price of a detached home is $533,688 through the first 6 months of this year. And what does it look like for the rest of the year from your perspective?
Yes, that's always a tricky question, predicting the future. But the way I look at it, what's that? Okay, good. Thank you. I appreciate that. But the way I look at it is when people are interacting right now in the market, they are motivated. And the reason that I say that and I know that is because market performance is stable. So, with the number of closings, they're roughly within single digits, either slightly above or slightly below this same time last year. And so it's not fluctuating wildly. And there's something to be said for that because Lou, both you and I have seen markets that are, on a trajectory that's much more steep than we currently are. So what does the future look like for that? Well, I think it will continue to be stable. Yes, there's going to be some blips on the radar depending on things like inflation and conflict in Iran and some of those things that affect the macro economic focus for all of us. But by and large, people still need to buy, they need to sell, they want to invest. And that's what I mean by the people who are transacting business right now, they're motivated. And in many cases, the vast majority of them are also realistic about pricing and timetables. So I would say when you look at those components, it's relatively healthy. It's not wild, it's not crazy, and it's realistic. So I would say the fundamentals are very solid.
Well, I hope you're right about that, and it seems like that's the case because interest rates are a big factor and they're being held stable. And fortunately, they did not increase the rates at their last meeting. But so the FMLS I saw something Jeremy sent out, or I think it was Jeremy, that certain areas on the south side are included in what is called compulsory or something like that. What could you
Yes.
explain that to us?
Yes, absolutely. So compulsory areas, let me back up for a second. Whenever we hear from our members, we take that into great consideration. So one component of that is products. We hear all the time, "Hey, this is a really cool product. Is FMLS looking at that?" And we are constantly reviewing great products. It's similar as it relates to business. We hear very often all across the scope, including South Atlanta, of areas that say, "Hey, we want more. We want more listings in FMLS. We want more visibility." And so when it's decided for different counties to become compulsory, it's really at a critical mass. And so it's not like there's a dartboard and you throw a dart and we're like, okay, this county goes compulsory. It's really based on member feedback, member engagement, and a heightened desire for there to be more of FMLS services and more listing availability in those areas. So definitely the South side is growing. We love what's happening there. And you saw that as noted in the Clayton and Henry counties became compulsory. But it's not just those areas. We are growing north in Gilmer, we're growing west in Carroll, and east in Banks. So that's kind of a little bit of the backstory behind what drives those compulsory changes.
Well, as a commercial agent, I focus a lot on land and
Mhm.
also multifamily, but land is readily available in those markets. So, in fact, I'm working on a couple of big deals right now in Clayton County with land because they do have land available, and up on the north side, not really so much. So, I'm looking forward to working with you guys in that area. Do you guys are you focusing any more on commercial, or is that where does that play in your old priority role there?
Absolutely. Commercial is one of our fastest growing segments. And one component of how we can continue to grow that, and we appreciate your support and your use of that. You're doing exactly what we want all of our members to do who focus and specialize in commercial. But one component of how we can grow that to a larger extent is through data shares. And data shares are basically sharing with other MLSs throughout the country and throughout the world for the purposes of making opportunities, land, projects, etc., aware and available through our by logging into FMLS. You can log into FMLS, so we have a list of our data share partners, the areas that they cover. There's a map, so it's very clear that you can see those things. And the way that we look at residential is very regional and to an extent national. The cross-border opportunities, the regional opportunities for commercial, honestly, they're at least 10x. Commercial growth is based generally on value opportunities. And I know you know this, you could probably speak to it better than I can because I'm not a commercial specialist. But generally, commercial growth is based on value, and you have a more regional view than buyers and sellers of residential might be. So it's very powerful when FMLS can offer additional visibility to those growing areas, particularly in value locations.
Well, speaking of the partnerships, FMLS has added quite a few partnerships over the last few years, and a couple of questions on that. How many are there? How many more are coming? And how do we benefit from those partnerships?
Absolutely. Well, there I don't know exactly how many there are because we are adding them rapidly. In fact, we just announced one yesterday, and it's particularly exciting because it's our first entree into Canada. And that is with ITSO in Ontario, Canada. Um, but we are actively pursuing those. But it's not really just, oh, we want more data, we want more data. It's really a philosophical fit too, right? Because FMLS is all about the member focus. And we want to go about adding data shares or promoting those in a way that's mutually beneficial, not only for us and our members, but also for the organizations that we partner with. Some of them are large, like us, and some are not as large as us. And we look for synergies for some of the ones that are in a growth pattern or on their way, but maybe not at quite as large. Maybe we can offer them customer care support or training opportunities. And for others that are similarly sized or, share that innovative future focus, it starts with a data share, but it really cultivates into longer term relationships, sharing of best practices with other world class organizations. And as far as where they are, I'll just name some of them because I don't know that I could rattle off all the ones that we have. They are on our website, firstmls.com, and you can see them under MLS partnerships. But we have, as I mentioned, ITSO in Ontario, Canada, Miami Realtors in Miami, Florida, North Star MLS in Minneapolis, St. Paul area, Bright MLS in the Mid Atlantic, Kansas City, and Colorado, just to name a few. So, how'd I do, Lou? Am I doing okay?
Yeah, I'm looking at the list on because as you're talking, our producer Alex is great. Is showing that list on the background, and you can't see it, but in when this show is sent broadcast, there will be a list of that shown. But
Amazing.
anyway,
That's so good.
it's very well done on your website. The way that we can benefit then, as I understand it, is through growing professionalism and access to listings in those markets. And I can see how that could be extremely beneficial on the commercial side because I represent a lot of investors who are looking for land, like I say, multifamily and everything, even car washes and hotels and you name it. So, and hopefully those.
Yeah, I'd love to explore that a little bit more about the benefit because I think sometimes people can look at that and say, well, I don't have clients that work in that area or come from that area. But I think if you expand your thinking, there's definitely a lot of ways to really benefit from that. If you'll permit, I'd love to take a quick segue, a little internal promotion. FMLS and ARA are hosting an event on Thursday, August 20th at the Coca-Cola Roxy. I'm sure you already know about this from 11 to 3 p.m. And it's the showcase. It's an incredible annual event. The theme this year is a world of opportunity, with Atlanta being a global gateway. And the reason that I bring this up right now is because one of the speakers is from an Italian MLS. And we have incredible speakers. The whole lineup is great, and they'll be talking about Atlanta as a global gateway. But as we talk about benefit from partnerships in other cities, this is going to be a very tangible, like you're going to hear specific examples of how that can benefit directly from him and others. But the way that I kind of see that, oh, and by the way, tickets are available on the ARA events page. It's $10. It'll be great. So hopefully we will see you and everyone who is tuning in at that event. But specifically, the way I see the benefits of the data shares, one is understanding expectations of either your buyers, sellers, or investors based on the market that they're coming from, used to, or going to. Because if you can say, all right, if it's 500,000 or a million, whatever their number is, you can get a sense of what that same amount of money would enable them to purchase or sell and the features that they're looking for in the other market. So having a good foundation is certainly a great start. Another benefit is cultivating referral relationships, exactly what you had mentioned earlier, seeing other agents that are in your specific area of expertise or price point or niche and connecting with them. LinkedIn is a magical tool. But for me, my favorite component of this is honestly the best practices. It's with company to company sharing those great ideas. I'll give you a perfect example. We did a data share with another MLS, and it started as, hey, let's just share data, and then that created more opportunities for us to dialogue. And their team actually came to see what does our team do? How do we structure things? How do we review and launch products, perform customer support? So it's really a lot broader than just here's some data for this area. It is exponentially powerful once you can dig in. And we love that.
That's really exciting. We're all looking to improve our skills and also make more money. So,
Yes.
and not necessarily in that order.
That's right.
Sometimes, but so one thing that I would like to compliment FMLS on is the support staff that Jeremy has put together, and now you, I guess, are working on that with. But it's just far superior, really, to any other support staff that I've dealt with, and I mean across the range, whether it's GoDaddy or any realtor association or you name it, you definitely have warrant 4 stars for the support staff at FMLS, and I appreciate the great job that you guys have done. Jeremy has done a spectacular job. He's really good at identifying really good talent like yourself, and just has really benefited agents, and especially me, because I'm on there all the time, because once in a while I get a residential listing and I don't really know what to do without the staff, because I do mostly commercial, but in many cases, my kudos to you for that. We can't really have a show without mentioning that, because there's such an important role in our everyday lives.
I totally agree, and I will happily pass along the compliment. Thank you for that. It certainly starts from the top, and Jeremy has set the tone with clarity for our organization, and the team here is awesome. They know and live the mission of white glove service for our members with an innovative and future focus. And we do that through some sort of direct engagement with our members. So we have member services representatives, our training team, our customer care team, and our service center. And that is direct engagement through associations, through visiting offices, through our customer care center where agents, members, et cetera, can come directly to us. And then support, of course, virtually and as well. But then behind the scenes, there's an equally powerful group, and that's our product group, our IT, our development, our data, finance, and marketing. And it may not always be directly member facing, but they are equally and absolutely engaged to provide the best experience and interactions. And we measure our ratings and our feedback with great rigor. It's something that we're very proud of, but it's also something we continue to be very passionate about. And I love having highly engaged leadership, as you mentioned, with Jeremy as CEO and Marcia as COO. But it is a through line across the organization. And I do think it is one of the major differentiators of First MLS.
I agree with that 100%. It's really essential, because agents, that's our go-to, really. That's our primary contacts over there. So it's very important, and agents, the thing too is that they're very friendly, and just friendly is big, it's really big. And I'm a greeter at North Point Church, and I've been doing that for about 15 years. And they've done a lot of research, and they found that the people that are most impressed and come back more often is because of the people in the greeting role, because they feel welcome and they feel respected and treated with kindness and not just as something obligation wise. So, and that's really a big factor. And Jeremy's just done a spectacular job of supervising, hiring, for training, and supervising for that group of people that is really up there among the best in the country.
Absolutely. I think of it this way, and I don't know if this is an interesting example, but it definitely rings true for me because in leading Harry Norman, we were a member of FMLS. And we got to experience all the benefits, but now I'm sort of behind the curtain, if you will. And the way I think of it is like eating at a fine dining restaurant. You go for the experience. It's an incredible service, innovative cuisine. But now that I'm part of the team, I get to see what happens behind the scenes, the level of care, the level of effort, initiative that go into making it all happen. And, that can go terribly wrong if you were behind the scenes at a fine dining restaurant, or you can be equally as impressed. I am thoroughly impressed. And it's a joy to be part of this team. And I'm going to do everything I can to continue to help and elevate this organization. And I kind of think bon appetit.
Well, I'm sure you're in a great position to do that, Jenny, with your experience at Harry Norman, which was always and continues to be very highly respected as really very classy, well-run, highly respected organization. So
Thank you.
I'm sure you'll bring that same quality over to FMLS. Well, thanks for being on the show, Jenny. I used to interview Jeremy every month for, years, and then he became so busy, but at least maybe we could have you on the show at least quarterly and bring everybody up to date on changes, because there seem to be a lot of changes going on. And maybe every 3 months you could come on and do a half-hour segment about what's going on over there.
Well, there are always things happening. I mean, I'm probably, 2, 3 weeks into this, and I'm astounded at the pace and the exciting things that are ahead. So I would say that certainly you're on track for knowing that there's a lot coming down the pipe. And whether it's Jeremy, whether it's me, or if we can provide value to you, that's what we're all about.
We send this show out to the realtors, and it's on my website and AtlantaCommunityProfiles.com. If you're an agent listening to the show and you don't get the show, send me an email, lou@louwieland.com, and I'll send it out to you. So again, thanks, Jenny, for coming on the show, and appreciate your time. And I know you'll be a spectacular addition to the fine work done by FMLS.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's been wonderful to be with you today.
Thank you very much. And thank you for listening and watching. And please let me know if I can help you with any of your real estate needs. Lou@louwieland.com.